Teacher.
Right, okay, we're doing page 10 and 11 today.
Why we have only 7 people?
All about gravity, but we're also gonna watch that video because I don't believe some of you actually watched the video.
No, I watched.
Right, we'll just do the work in the book first.
Romeo.
All about gravity. What is gravity? Can anyone tell me what is gravity?
Earth magnet. Earth magnet. Earth magnet.
Well done.
Earth magnet.
Only the Earth? Only the Earth has gravity?
Other. The moon? Planet gravity, I think.
Actually, everything has gravity. Even you have gravity. But because you're so small, you can't feel your own gravity. But the Earth, because the Earth is so big, it has gravity of its own. Right, we'll just read the book first, then we'll watch the video, and then we're going to look at some questions, okay? So we'll just read the bottom of this page 10. Who should we get to read? Same.
Yes.
Can you read this part of the book for us, please?
Try holding a ball in your hand. Why does the ball drop to the ground when you
Release
it? Earth exerts pulling force on all objects. Forward the ground. This force is called gravity or
gravitational
force. This is why things fall to the ground after you throw them upward. Because of the Earth's gravity, all objects have weight.
Well done. Because of the Earth's gravity, all objects have weight. Right, we're just going to have a look at this one. Who discovered gravity? Does anyone know who discovered gravity?
Isaac Newton. Isaac Newton.
Isaac Newton, well done. Which country was Isaac Newton from?
Italy?
No.
I guess Italy.
No.
America.
No.
UK.
UK, well done. Well done, UK. Do you know when he discovered it? Anyone know when he discovered it? Okay, he discovered it about 300 years ago. Right, what I'm going to do...
Where?
Right, okay, I've muted you all. So I'm going to choose somebody to just read this bit for us here. Watanak, you can have a go at reading that for us. Who discovered gravity?
Who discovered gravity? Most people would not question an apple falling down from a tree. However, one person wondered and found out why the apple fell down. Sir Isaac Newton discovered that there was a pulling force which caused the apple to fall downwards. He called this pulling force gravity. He went on further to explain that it is the same force that actually keeps the moon in orbit around the Earth and the planets in orbit around the sun. He explains the objects on Earth have weight because of gravity. The unit of gravity, Newton, was named after Sir Isaac Newton.
Okay, well done. It's actually the unit of weight, not the unit of gravity.
Oh.
The unit of weight, and Newton is named after Isaac Newton. Okay, there are what other units of weight do we use? Watanak?
Kilograms.
Well done, kilograms. Anything else?
Kilograms. Tons.
Tons, well done. What are there? There's 1,000 of something in a kilogram. What's the small? 1 kilogram is 1,000 what?
Well, I forgot it.
Grams. Grams. Kilo means 1,000, and grams is kilogram means 1,000 grams. Right, okay. I'm going to mute you again. Who can I get? Ratana. You've muted yourself, but I'm asking you to unmute.
Mute myself.
Yes. Right. Can you read this part of the book for us?
Where? All?
Yeah, all of it.
A bird need all work. You can experiment and see the what teacher?
We can experience and see
the
effects.
effect of gravity is many way.
Okay, so we can fit. That means we can feel gravity in many ways. Can you see this? It's a little bit.
Yep. A bird need to overcome gravity in order to fly.
Excellent. And this one here?
Gravity
causes
water droplet it then format high in the sky to fall as rain.
Excellent. Well done. So it's gravity. The reason why it rains is because gravity pulls the water out of the clouds. What about this one here?
Yeah. When the driver stepped off the platform, gravity put him down. What's that? Toward the water.
Yeah, well done. So when somebody is diving into the pool, when they jump off to dive, it's gravity that pulls them down into the water. What about this one here?
What? The paratrooper. Paratrooper.
Well done. Eventually
ran through to the ground because it's of gravity.
Well done. A paratrooper, that's the name of a person with a parachute. Paratrooper, parachute. So he comes down to the ground because of gravity. If he didn't have a parachute, what would happen? Ratana, what would happen if he didn't have a parachute? He'd be dead. Well done. Right, okay. How do I unmute you all?
So we can unmute ourselves.
Okay, yeah,
Yes.
I just allowed you to unmute yourself. Right, okay, what we're going to do now, we're going to watch a video, but before we do the video, we've got some questions here. Let's see what questions we already know before we watch the video. So what is the name of the force that pulls everything to the earth? Samba.
What is the force? What is the force that pull everything up to the earth?
What's the name of the force?
The force.
No gravity.
What are we learning about today?
Gravity.
Gravity. Can you spell it? Well done.
Gravity.
Well done. Gravity.
Gravitational force.
What?
Gravitational force.
Okay, gravity or gravitational force. All right, Win-Win, what about number 2? We can't see gravity, so it is what? What word means that we can't see it?
Invisible.
Well done, invisible.
Good job. I know others. Teacher, I know other ones.
Right, Seta, good afternoon, how are you? Seta, have you just come? Who discovered gravity?
I know.
Wait, let's Seta answer. I think Seta doesn't know because he just come to the class. Who's been here? Some, you've been here since the beginning. Who discovered gravity? What was his name?
Mark Zuckerberg.
Mark Zuckerberg discovered Facebook.
Mark Zuckerberg. Wow. Oh, I know. What an he search Google.
Right, okay.
I know.
Right,
Search
so
Google.
we don't know this answer. Does anyone know when he discovered it?
Me. I know when he discovered it.
When did he discover it?
1687.
1687? Okay. We're going to check these when we watch the video. Are you sure about that, Win-Win?
Are you sure about that?
So when he discovered it, what did he see fall from a tree?
An apple.
Wait, what?
Apple.
Okay, we're going to check these in the video. I'll tell you what. We'll watch the video now, and then we'll go through the questions after. Okay. So watch the video. It's 3 minutes long. Watch it carefully. All of the answers that I'm going to ask you in a minute are in the video. So watch the video.
Teacher,
No, it's not. It's not.
questions that are in the quiz are gonna be here.
Yes. So watch the video carefully. Okay.
Mute everybody.
Right. Let me mute everyone first. Hang on.
Perfect.
Right. You should all be muted now.
Hey friends, have you ever wondered what keeps us floating off into space?
If you can all hear it, put your thumbs up like that. If you can hear it.
Why am I going down after every jump? Well, this is called gravity, an invisible force that pulls you back to the earth. Sir Isaac Newton, a well-known scientist, discovered gravity about 300 years ago. The story is that Newton saw an apple fall from a tree towards the ground. At first he thought, why didn't the apple go up? Then he realized that there was a force that made it fall on the ground, and he called it gravity. You'll be surprised to know that every object that has mass exerts a gravitational pull or force on every other body of mass. The size of the pull depends on the mass of the objects. This is how the sun's gravitational pull keeps planets orbiting around it. Even the Earth has a gravitational force on the moon. That is why the moon rotates around the Earth and does not float away. That's amazing, isn't it? An invisible force has so much to do with the way we live. Oops, I forgot to tell you. The tides in the sea and oceans happen because of the gravitational pull of the moon. 1, 2, 3. By the way, have you ever thought why a stone falls on the ground faster than a piece of paper? That's because the bigger the object's mass, the more gravity it will have. And the smaller the mass of the object, the less will be the gravity. Trivia time! The moon's gravitational pull is 1/6 of Earth's gravitational pull. A person weighing 150 pounds on Earth would weigh no more than 25 pounds on the moon. Imagine how far you could jump on these two places. So next time, when you see high tides and objects falling on the ground, you will know why that happens. So this is me zooming out. Tune in next time for more fun facts.
Right, can you all hear me?
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
Okay, did you all watch that? You all get the answers to all of this?
Yeah.
Right. So question 3 then. Who discovered gravity?
Isaac Newton.
It was Sir Isaac Newton.
Well done, Win-Win. Can you spell that?
I.
Win-Win, can you spell Sir Isaac Newton? How do we spell Sir?
When?
Okay. Remember how to spell Isaac?
S-I-R.
Yeah.
Yeah. I-S-A-A-C.
What?
Oh, it's actually,
N-E-W-C-O-N.
well done. But Isaac is actually S-S-A, not S-A-A.
I-S-S.
S-S-A, Newton. So Isaac Newton. And, okay, how do you know it was 1687, Win-Wen?
He searched it.
I've been searching and putting my answers.
All right, well
I've
done.
just been noting.
My answer
on
was
the paper.
7. They said in the video that it was 1700, but 1687 is close enough. Whoops. Okay, 1700 or 1687 is okay. What did he see fall from the tree? An apple?
Apple.
Okay, so we'll just put... These are all questions in the quiz that you're going to do after. What about, what did he think when he saw the apple fall from the tree?
Bruh.
Gravity.
What did he think? So he saw the apple fall from the tree, and then he thought, he thought something that he
Why
never
the
thought
apple
before.
don't go up, it go down.
Like
Excellent,
he thought
Roxana.
that why?
Well done, yes. He asked himself, why does the apple fall down
Bounce.
and not fall up?
Because of the gravity.
Yeah, because of the gravity. Well done. But actually, he was one of the first people to think this. Because we're so used to gravity, we don't think about gravity a lot. But he was one of the first people to think, what is it? Why do things fall to the ground instead of floating off into space? So what did he realize when he saw it fall from the tree?
He realized gravity.
Gravity in space, and our planet have none of gravity.
Well done. Yeah. He realized, actually, no, there's another answer. What did he think? So he thought there must be a pulling force. There must be an invisible force that's pulling the apple to the ground. And then he thought, is that the same force as something else? What was the other force that he thought about?
Yeah.
So the same force that was pulling the apple from the tree, he thought, I wonder if that's the same force that...
Oh, the moon orbits around the earth.
Excellent. Well done. Well done. He thought to himself, is that the same force that keeps the planets moving around the sun and keeps the moon moving around the earth? Is it the same force that causes the apple to fall from the tree? Okay, so he realized that it was the same force that keeps the planets moving around the sun.
Sun.
Yeah. They're both gravity. They're both gravity. So who called it gravity? Who called the force gravity? Who said let's call this force gravity? Because remember, before this,
Sir Isaac Newton.
exactly. Well done.
Sir Isaac Newton.
Well done. Because there's a rule in science when you do anything with science. If you're the first person to discover something, then you are the person who is allowed to give it a name. You're the person who can choose what it's called. Okay, so he called it gravity. Now, number 9, every object has mass. Every object that has mass creates gravity. Can anyone think of something that has no mass?
Nothing. Nothing.
Nothing.
Excellent. Well done. Nothing. Every single thing has mass.
What and
How about air? How about
What's an
air?
Even air. Air has mass too. The particles
Yeah.
in the air. Actually, the only things that don't have mass are light. The particles that make light, they don't have any mass. And actually, anything that doesn't have any mass, it also doesn't have any time. It doesn't experience time. Right, okay.
So it's
So,
almost time.
is it? No, we've still got 10 minutes. Right.
Oh.
So, who can explain to us what is mass? You can. What is mass?
Mass is a mass.
Anyone? Can anyone explain to us what is mass? When we talk about mass.
Mass. Wait.
Mass is a large body of matter with no definite shape.
Sambat, you're not reading that off the internet, are you?
Probably yes.
No.
Wait,
No.
teacher.
Yeah,
I'm looking for a researcher.
It's a thing that
I knew it.
going connected to each other.
Right, okay. I think Win-Win got it. Right. Okay, when we talk about mass, we're talking about all of the stuff that everything is made from. All of the stuff that something is made from. Okay, so the mobile phone here, it has mass because of all of the atoms and particles that it's made from. Okay, the more stuff that's in something, inside something, the more mass it has. Mass is just stuff that's inside things. We call it mass. So something with a lot of mass has a lot of weight. It weighs heavy. Something with not a lot of mass, it doesn't weigh very much. Right, okay. Question 10, what decides how much gravity an object has? I just told you the answer to that. What's the answer to that?
What decides how much?
It's mass.
A lot.
It's mass.
It's a lot of gravity.
Well done. What decides how much gravity an object has? Well, it's mass. The more mass it has, the more gravity it creates. So we all create gravity because we have mass. But because we're so small, you cannot feel the gravity that we make. The planet Earth creates a lot of gravity because it has a lot of mass. And the sun, which is about 1 million times bigger than the Earth, it has 1 million times more mass, so it has 1 million times more gravity. It's the gravity of the sun that keeps the planets spinning around and around and around. If the sun
teacher,
was... Yes, Fortuna.
That's why in the middle of the, I think in the middle of the Earth, teacher, does heat create mass?
No, heat doesn't create mass.
Oh.
No. Mass is just the amount of stuff, the amount of particles and atoms and things that everything is made from. Yeah.
But
when it's all crushed together, it's that's its mass. For example,
the layer of the Earth creates the gravity.
Say that again, what's that?
I heard that the layer of the Earth creates gravity.
Okay, not the layer of the Earth, just the mass, the weight, the mass of the Earth. So, for example, okay, there are stars called neutron stars. Okay, so the stars are like the same size as our sun, but when they die, when they come to the end of their life, they crush themselves down into very, very, very small, like about the size of a city. So they go from the size of our sun and they go all the way down to the size of our city, but they have the same mass. even though they're much smaller, they have the same mass as what they were when they were a normal sun. So they still weigh the same. Right, number 11, we'll just go through these quickly, we're running out of time. An object with a large mass creates, does it create a lot or a little bit of gravity? Something with a lot of mass. Well done. A lot. A lot of mass means a lot of gravity. Right, we've got 10 minutes left. Number 13, what do we call the circle that the planets follow when they go around the sun? Win-Win, just let somebody else answer for a second. Lita. Hello, Lita.
Orbit.
Lita, when we talk about the moon going around the Earth, or the Earth going around the sun, what do we call that?
Teacher, you put a lot at the wrong place.
Oh.
Teacher, you put a lot at the wrong place.
Well done, Win-Win. Calm down. Okay. Right. Same, do you know, what do we call it where the circle when the planets go around the sun, what do we call that? We would say the planets what?
Orbit.
All right, I think Watanabe just said it. Go on then, Win-Win. What's the answer?
The answer is sun halo. A sun halo, right?
No, not sun halo.
Okay.
Watanabe, you just said it. What's the answer?
Orbits.
Orbit. Orbit. The orbit is the path, the path that the planets move along when they go around the sun. Or you could say that the moon orbits the Earth. The moon goes around the Earth. Right, what do we call the circle that the planets follow when they go? Oh, that's the wrong answer, hang on. Oh, sorry, right, that's the answer for that one. Number 12, why do the planets go around the sun? I've written who there, that's a mistake, it should say why.
Gravity.
Gravity, well done, gravity. Because the sun is very large, it has a lot of mass, it makes a lot of gravity, and the planets move around the sun because of the gravity of the sun.
There's a lot of answer that's gravity.
Yeah. What about a tide? What is a tide? Do you all know what a tide is when we talk about a tide of the sea? The sea tide?
The moon. The moonlight.
Okay, Panya, I think you've answered the other one. Right.
Splash.
Okay. So the moon goes around the Earth. But because the moon is about a quarter of the size of the Earth, it has a lot of gravity. So as it goes around the Earth, it pulls the water from the sea, it pulls it around. So if you go to the seaside, to the beach, in the morning, the water might be close to you on the beach. But if you go in the afternoon, the water might be much further away because the moon has pulled the water from the sea. Not from the sea, but it's pulled it away from the beach. And then as it moves around, the water goes back to the beach.
Teacher,
Yes, Win-Win.
teacher, so it's like a time lapse, and the moon controls the time.
Yeah, kind of.
Go back and forth.
Yeah, most beaches, they have 2 tides every day because of when the moon moves around. And actually,
Time lapse.
you know werewolves and vampires, they come out when there's a full moon. That's why people think that they come out when there's a full moon, because they think when the full moon is there, you think of all the water that's in your body and all of the liquid, all of the blood. People used to think that the moon used to pull your blood like through your body and make you go crazy. It's not true, but that's what people used to think.
Why sometimes the moon like half and sometimes the moon is full?
That's just the light from the sun. That's just the light coming from the sun. The moon is still there. The moon is always full, but sometimes you can only see half of it because of the light from the sun. Because the Earth makes a shadow on the moon. Right, so a tide of the sea is the moon's gravity. The The moon's gravity pulling the sea, we can say.
Sea.
Right, 3 more questions quickly. What creates tides on the Earth? Well, we just answered that. What creates it? What makes it? You can?
The moon.
The moon.
The moon.
The moon. Because of the gravity of the moon. Why does a stone fall faster than a piece of paper? What's the difference?
Because a stone is heavier.
Well done. The stone is, we could say the stone is heavier, so we can say the stone has more what?
Mass.
Mass. Well done.
Mass.
The stone is heavier, the stone has more mass. Right, the last one. If you went to the moon, okay, if you were lucky enough to go to the moon and you stood on the moon, would you be heavier? Would you be lighter? Or would you weigh the same?
Weigh the same.
Weigh the same.
Right, if you think weigh the same, put your hand up.
It's less than 10 minutes.
All right, this is the last question.
No.
If you think weigh the same, put your hand up.
Teacher, when you go.
Win-win, let's just finish this question first. If you think that you would be lighter, put your hand up.
Teacher,
if you think
teacher,
you would
when
be...
you go to the moon, you...
Right, okay. Win-win, I think your internet's broken. Right. When you go to the moon, because the moon is smaller than the Earth, so the moon has less mass than the Earth, so the moon creates less gravity than the Earth, so you would weigh lighter. You would be about, you would weigh only 1/6 of your weight. If you were 100 kilograms, or if you were 60 kilograms on Earth, you would only be 10 kilograms on the moon, because the gravity on the moon is less. It's only about 1/6. Yes, Ratana. Yes, Ratana.
The people say 60 kilogram, 10 kilogram on moon, and I I'm just 45 kilogram. And what happened?
Okay, if you were 45 kilogram now, you'd be about 6 kilograms on the moon. That's why when you see video of when people went to the moon, when they jump very high. They move very slowly and they jump very high. That's because they don't weigh as much as on the moon as they do on the Earth, because the gravity on the moon is much less. So if you want to lose weight, if you're a little bit fat like me, and you want to lose a bit of weight, the best thing to do is go to the moon. Go and live on the moon. Yeah, you'll be a lot lighter.
What?
Oh, are you?
Right, so the answer to that one is you would be lighter on the moon, not heavier, and you wouldn't weigh the same.
You would die, trust me.
Right, okay,
Yeah.
come to the end. Right, make sure that you do your...
What the net you wear my character.
Your what?
Look at your shirt. My character.
What?
Right, okay, anybody got any questions? We're going to run out of time any second. It's just going to cut off in 1 second. Anybody got any questions?
No.
No, everybody understand? All about gravity and mass and orbits and planets and everything? Yes, Ratana?
No.
How can we drink water on the moon? On the moon?
You have to use a straw. They use a straw and they suck it out of the...
If they have a straw, just like that. When they do like that, the water just go there. And how they drink?
Yeah, if you look at videos of the people on the space station, they don't weigh anything at all. And you can see when they drop water, the water just floats in the air like little bubbles.
And they drink like that.
Yeah, they can drink it. The little bubble of water, it can just do that and it just goes in their mouth.
That's crazy. No way how to do that.
Have a look on YouTube.
If we throw something, teacher.
On YouTube, there's... say that again.
If we throw something, it will go up too.
Yeah, if you throw something in space, it will just float, keep floating and floating until something stops it. It doesn't fall to the ground or anything. Have a look on YouTube. I'll send you the video about the space station. Really good video.
I have a question.
Quick, Win-Win. We're going to run out of time.
What is question 6?
That's for you to decide. All those questions are in the quiz. Just answer the questions properly in the quiz after the lesson. Okay? Right. Well done, everybody, today. See you all in the morning, 8:30.
Teacher,
Don't be late.
I can't see you in the morning. I can't see you in the morning.